Sam Donnelly here, and tonight I'm talking to you about Jon Gruden's massive contract with the Oakland Raiders, potential friction in New England with the New England Patriots. Also, I'm going to rank the biggest threats to the Golden State Warriors. My first thoughts, and of course, my prediction for Georgia and Alabama on Monday night, the Monday Night National Championship game. Starting off with Oakland, they fired Jack Del Rio after 3 seasons of being their head football coach, and they, with the intention of hiring Jon Gruden. They signed him to a 10-year, $100 million deal. That's more than Bill Belichick gets in New England. I have a big problem with that because, one, Jon Gruden hasn't coached in forever, and two, outside of the one Super Bowl, he doesn't have the resume that Bill Belichick has. And really, is he really that great of a coach? I mean, after taking Coach Tony Dungy's players and making that, making them he was originally coach of the Raiders back in 2002, and then he was traded to the Buccaneers, and then the Buccaneers slaughtered the Raiders in the Super Bowl. And really, ever since then, everybody's kind of like, wow, Jon Gruden is the next head coach. Jon Gruden is the next coach of this team, that coach of that team. His system is different than, he coached in a different era of football. And my question is, has the game passed him by? And, he had the Gruden quarterback camp. I love that segment of ESPN. I thought it was great to really see how these quarterbacks sit down one-on-one with a coach who coached at the pro level and went through his strengths, his weaknesses, and what he can do, and really, went in depth of what plays he was running and whatnot. But, it's a different era now. It's not about ground and pound where the fullback is an important piece. I mean, yes, he's a big part of what teams do, but as far as pass protection and run blocking, he doesn't get the handoff as much as he used to back in the more physical days. It's more of an aerial attack and they've got a quarterback in Derek Carr. But my question is, again, what system is he running? He has good knowledge of football, but just because you have good knowledge of football and, just because you know certain X's and O's doesn't make you a great football coach. So I kind of got a lot of question marks about him. Starting off with, has the game passed him by? Like I said, he hasn't coached since the early 2000s. The game's a lot different, it's a lot less physical. It's still physical, but it's not. There's a lot more rules helping the offenses, and it's more of an aerial game now. It's more of a quarterback-driven league. My second question is, can he get the respect from his locker room? Like I said, he's getting more than what Bill Belichick is getting in New England. And, Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches ever. And Jon Gruden, outside of that Super Bowl win, hasn't continued to win. He hasn't won. He was 43-52 as a coach after that Super Bowl win with the Buccaneers. And, times are different. He doesn't have the resume that Bill Belichick has, So I don't know. I think it's too much. I think they should have held on to Jack Del Rio and Oakland until they moved to Vegas, and then if they didn't turn around next year, fire Del Rio next year and make the coaching change then. I think they didn't make a coaching change. Speaking of coaches, Bill... Still getting over this cold, y'all. Bill Belichick has come in the news about friction inside the New England Patriots. To my knowledge, there's friction in every organization. Nobody's going to agree on everything, okay? Brady has saying Garoppolo's trade or whatnot. And I don't believe for a second. Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Yeah, the Patriots are in a bit of a situation with their future at the quarterback position, but Brady's not going to retire anytime soon. And I don't think Belichick's going to leave anytime soon. I think it's just right now there's nothing going on. So somebody's trying to create a story out of nothing, and I think that's all it is. It's like the Rick Smith, Bill O'Brien issues. If there was real clear tension between the two parties. You kind of were seeing it on a day-to-day basis, but you didn't see it in Hard Knocks when the Texans were on Hard Knocks. The Patriots have been successful for so long. I hardly believe that now would be the time that they have any friction. I mean, Brady's 41. He's going to be 41 next year. So, I mean, guess how much longer can he play? So, there's that. I could see how there would be some tension. Maybe Belichick's thinking down the future. But Bill Belichick is all about right now. He's always been, do your job. We're on to the next game. It's a week-to-week, year-to-year league in his mind. And he's, there's no question. I think New England tried to hang on to Garoppolo. I just don't think they were able to come to any numerical value for him. And it might work out for San Francisco if they resign him. They might have their quarterback, but he went 3-0 or 4-0, excuse me, with the San Francisco 49ers. So, I just think it's a non-starter. We're just waiting to get to the playoffs, and this is what happens when sports fans go stir crazy. You get made up stories like this. I think there's something behind it. I just don't think that anything's going to happen this year with the Patriots. Maybe a little bit something, but of course, again, name one franchise where everybody gets along. I mean, I was watching the Celtics on the Timberwolves game earlier, and during the broadcast, Brad Stevens said that he never seen a more in sync organization than the Patriots, and I do believe that. I think the Patriots they know how to win, and they know what it takes to be successful. They'll figure it out. They'll brush it aside, and they'll just move on to the next thing. And I think it's no big deal. Of course, we'll have to see what happens after the playoffs when their Super Bowl run is over, whether they win it or not. But I don't think there's anything behind it. So, but I guess we'll see. I just don't think I just think it's a made-up story in a time where we'll kind of just wait for the playoffs to start, and everybody's anxious. Speaking of playoffs and playoff potentials, the Houston Rockets lost last night 124-114 to the Golden State Warriors. Bringing up the question now, who's the biggest threats to the Golden State Warriors? I still say in this order, Cleveland, because they played them the last two times in the finals, and I think they got a deep roster, Isaiah Thomas, and they got a veteran roster with Dwayne Wade and LeBron, obviously, best basketball player in the world. Again, and then you got San Antonio in the West, and then it's really all Western Conference teams from there. San Antonio because of Popovich. I think that they were beating them like a drum in game one of the conference finals before Kawhi Leonard got hurt. So that I've got to give the edge to one of the best coaches ever in Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. But then I'm going to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think because they got 3 stars, they've got length up front, and they are one of the best better defensive teams in the league. This is why the Houston Rockets really, really hurt themselves. Everyone says, well, Oklahoma City's not deep enough. You don't really need depth. You just need 1 or 2, maybe three guys that can come off the bench and consistently produce. If Oklahoma City, they can get 1 or 2 more guys coming off that bench to step up with their defense and their size, and the three guys of Melo, Westbrook, and George, yeah, they're definitely a threat. And then I would say the Houston Rockets. The Rockets played very well last night without James Harden. Of course, the Warriors didn't have Durant. The Rockets, if they make enough threes, they have a puncher's chance because of the three-point shooting. They just shoot so quickly on the shot clock. They don't really have much more offensive efficiency outside of the threes. And outside of Clint Capella, they don't have a lot of size. So, and they're not a great defensive team. I know they're much more improved this year, but again, their paint defense of giving up a lot of layups, a lot of easy shots to the Warriors last night. 7-game series, the team is going to pick that apart, and that's going to be the difference. And I do think the Rockets are a threat, but it's just they're not the biggest threat to the Golden State Warriors. Monday night national championship game. I think this is Alabama, Georgia, and I think this is going to be a great game. I know I said it was going to be Clemson at Oklahoma, but man, Alabama took it to Clemson. Excuse me. Big time defensively. Clemson OU game was fantastic. Clemson Georgia game, Clemson OU Georgia game was fantastic. I think this is going to come down to the run game. And I still think Alabama's going to win it. Best coach ever, and best college football coach ever, Nick Saban. The fact they've been there and done that, I think they'll win the game. I think it'll be a close one. I think it'll be a 21-17, close game, slugfest. The run games, defenses will be the highlight of the games, sorry. And I think Alabama's going to win. We'll see what happens going forward in the NBA season. Rockets, the trade deadline, the Rockets can make some moves. Obviously, there's still a lot left to be determined. The West is very good. Cleveland's a top dog in the East. And as for the NFL, we'll see what happens with the Belichick, Kraft, and the situation out there in New England. But I think it's going to happen. So Wildcard Weekend starts this weekend. We'll see what happens. This has been Sam Darley. Thank you for watching.